Hi, this week's surf lesson is going to be surf science. As you begin to surf more, it really becomes the quest for the perfect wave. Surf science will point you in the right direction. If you ignore the report, you could become frustrated, disappointed, and even put yourself in a dangerous situation. As much as I love surfing, there's some days where I just won't go out. Surfing on the right days, at the right time of day, you'll catch 10 times more waves and improve your surfing 10 times faster. There's so many factors that go into the perfect conditions, but for the most part, surfers are looking for a groundswell with no to little wind or offshore winds. You may have heard a surfer say there's a good swell coming. Swells and waves are not the same thing. Swells are formed by storms out at sea. The wind blows across the surface of the ocean and creates the swell that then moves away from the eye of the storm and towards the coastline, and that's where we can catch the wave as surfers. Waves are formed when the bottom of the ocean is too shallow to support the height of the wave. The wave peaks up and pitches out. Like a stone being thrown into the water, the storm is the stone and the ripples that move away from it are the swell. A wave is created when the ocean floor becomes too shallow to support the wave and forces it to break. Winter storms produce ground swells travel over 6,000 miles to reach the coast. Most surfers consider a swell that has an interval over 13 seconds to be a ground swell. There can be anywhere from 3 to 15 waves in a set. Most sets consist of waves in the beginning are a little bit smaller, the middle waves are a little bit bigger, and then toward the end of the group of the set, the waves become smaller again. The other type of swell could be a wind swell, and it's usually generated by a storm close offshore, winds blowing in the local area, and they're known to be choppy, smaller, and a little harder to surf, a little less interesting for surfers. Often waves can be a mixture of ground swell and wind swell. So the ground swells come from farther away and the wind swell has come from a shorter distance, and they combine to create the conditions at your local beach. As the offshore wind blows from the beach onto the wave, it stops them from breaking so quickly. And it usually holds up the face of the wave, and then you get that nice spray that sprays in your face as you paddle for the wave. If the wind's coming from the ocean and onto the beach, that's called onshore, and surfers don't generally like onshore. It flattens out the wave, perhaps makes it unrideable. So we're really looking for those offshore waves to hold up the wave and to create that the tube as well. So that creates the barrel that surfers like to ride in. Get to know your local surf spot. Ask a surfer, your surf shop, check a surf site like Surfline, and find out what direction and swells are good for your local beach. If you've ever heard a surfer talking about riding a wave, it can sound like a foreign language. So let me break it down. The part of the wave we surf on is called the face. The face of the wave has a lip, and the peak's the first spot where the wave will break. It can break in either direction, to the left or to the right. The shoulder is the part of the wave off to the side of the peak, and the white water is the part of the wave that's already broken. The white water is often referred to as the impact zone, and waves come in from the horizon. That's why the surfers call it the outside. When they're getting ready to paddle out, they're paddling to the outside, and when they want to come in, they're paddling into the beach. So as a beginning surfer, you may be sitting on the shoulder of the wave, and as you see a wave form on the horizon on the outside, you may paddle out to avoid getting caught in the impact zone. Or if you're ready, you're going to paddle over to the peak of the wave and drop into the face. You're going to look up to the lip of the wave if you'd like to do a maneuver and ride away from the peak, staying ahead of the white water. Surfers usually describe a wave by the type of bottom it has. For instance, a rocky reef break or a beach break if it's a sand bottom. And they usually talk about the height of a wave in reference to the body. So it could be head high, shoulder high, waist high, knee high, ankle high, double over toe if it's really small. The funny thing is, this is usually what we use like in California. I use that system here in the Baja. That's how people judge how big it is. Over in Hawaii, they actually judge the wave as the surfer's perspective from out in the water looking onto the beach and at the back side of the wave as it passes by. For a general rule, the back side of the wave is half the side of the face. So as half the size of the face of the wave, when we say it's 5 foot in California, that means 2.5 feet in Hawaii. When you know what swell direction, size, interval, you can put it all together so you can really get the most out of your time in the water. So that's how I've used surf science to catch some of the most epic surf days I've had and really know which day to plan a trip or what time of day to go out surfing if I need to get out early. So I hope you can use this. You know, it's a lot of information in the beginning, but it's just a few things that you can be thinking about, and like a puzzle, to begin to be able to piece those puzzle pieces together to really find out what conditions you like at your local surf break. Nos vemos pronto. Thank you.